Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Fope and I'm so happy you're here today. Today I'm talking about what to do when you're not sure what to do with your degree. So imagine you're done with school and now you're not even sure that you studied the right thing, or you don't know if this degree can lead you into a career of any sort, or your life plans changed and now you're looking for another way around. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. So I was in this position a bunch of times. First time was when I studied psychology in undergrad, and I kind of wanted to be a counselor. I got into school for it, but one thing led to another, and I didn't continue. So I had to figure out what I wanted to do with this degree now. So the logical thing to do, which I did, was ask Google. So I went to Google and I saw some ideas for what you can do with a psychology degree, something analyst, marketing manager. So I started applying for all these positions and I didn't get them. So what did I do? I took a job that I found, a volunteer role at first, and then it morphed into a real job after some time, but then that contract finished and then I just took some time off to travel, I think, and to clear my head and figure out what was next, which I think is pretty helpful. I'm sharing my experience because I want you to know why I'm talking about this, and I want to see if you can somehow see yourself in my experience. Then after some time, I went back to school. I went back to school because I figured maybe a whole new path would show me like what to do this time. I went and did an MBA. I had other reasons, but this was one of them, just to find another path. And then when I went in, I figured that a psychology degree majored in MBA would somehow lead me in the human resources path. But then in school, I learned about business analytics, and one of my profs, Professor Yanzo, amazing man, somehow directed me and helped me see that this was a good path. So I did that, and now I work as a business analyst. That's like a really short story. But I want to show you how you can do better than I did, and also learn from some things I did that I think I did well. The first thing I want to say is think about your degree doesn't really define you, at least in this day and age. The jobs that are going to continue to stay or that will come about are not necessarily things that we see today. The jobs of the future are not necessarily here today. So it's okay if you don't know what to do with your degree. Your degree doesn't need to define what you do for your career. So get out of the way. Don't stress about this. It's more important that you do something than it is what you do. Like what you're doing is not as important. Just do something, because you're learning on the job, you're learning what you don't want, and you're gaining new skill sets. So I think that don't stress too much about whether you're in the perfect job. Find something, start with it. If you don't like it, then you move on to the next. So don't spend your whole time thinking too hard about what to do if you're not sure what to do. The second thing is get advice. Get advice from people that are close to you, your close friends and family. What things do you think you do well? What skills are you using that are you great at that you don't even know that you're great at? This can help you think of new career paths, like people that are doing event management, photography. They didn't necessarily go to school to study those things, but they somehow fell into it. So consider that you might be able to do something other than what you've studied in school. And it's not a waste. No experience is really wasted. It somehow all makes sense eventually. Again, don't stress about this. Think hard. Is there something you really want to do, or something you really don't want to do? Some people know that they really don't want to work a 9 to 5, but I don't think everybody can afford to start their life by not working a 9 to 5. So you might be able to morph into something better that matches your desires eventually. But think about what you don't want to do and let that help you sort through options you have, and think about what you do want to do and let that guide your choices. So if I know I don't want to work a 9 to 5, I have to start thinking what kinds of jobs are out there that allow me to be flexible with my time. What skills do I need to get? I read this great book called Gig Economy, and it just helped me see how people were able to craft a life that they want by having a basket of gigs rather than just like one job that defines your whole life. So that's another thing to consider, that the world is changing. In the past, our parents might have been able to start and retire at the same job. So, and that was how they lived their lives. But many of us are going to move around and change careers multiple times. So again, think that your career is not just, it might not be a linear path. It might be a couple of a wavy one where you take some detours along the way. So don't stress so much about this. If you are job hunting, maybe if you're starting this, if this is at the beginning of your career, then your options are a bit limited because you don't have experience, and most people require experience to get a job. I have a video of what to do when you don't have any experience for new grads. I will link it here. But if you have some career leverage, some work you've done in the past, you can find ways to frame this around what you want to do. So for example, a person who has a degree in political sciences and now wants to work in finance for whatever reason, but he has also worked in political, policy analyst roles for a while, somehow was able to convince the finance guys that his experience in analyzing policy is useful in understanding how the money would then be used to carry out those policies. Like, so again, I tell my friends that everything is packaging. Figure out how to package yourself now, where you are to where you want to be. People call it personal branding. How to tell a story with your career, where you've been, how is somehow related to where you want to be. Don't stress too much about this. I've said that like 1,000 times, but I think it's the most important thing, because you can really feel like, okay, I don't know what to do. I've wasted these 4 years of my life. It's not a waste. Figure out what your career story is going to be and tell it. People like stories, so if you can tie it all in together to be where you want to be, you're ahead of the game. Another thing is, if you really don't know what to do at all, like, it's not like you don't want to use your career, you just don't know what to do. Try a bunch of experiences. What's the worst that could happen? You find a new hobby, or you gain a new skill. You find that you hate what the new thing is, and you ditch it and keep going. It's like an agile way to keep learning. So the summary of this video, which is a little bit all over the place, but thank you for staying with me, is don't stress about it. Start something. It matters more that you do something than it does what you do. I think the way the world is going, we're all going to be doing like a bunch of different things. So when something interests you, write it down, because maybe you won't do it right now, but maybe in 3 years you'll have the resources to do it, and then you have that idea bank written down. My point is, if you're nervous right now about what to do with your degree, don't stress. Find something to do and just do it. Do it with joy. Be a good worker there. Because it's not yours doesn't mean you can't do it well. I hope this video has been somehow helpful. My name is Fope. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content about life and love, and hit the notification bell, hit the like, comment what was helpful or what you would suggest someone actually do if they need help. All right.